The Rams had a chance to send a message to the entire NFL. They did all right. We can't hold a 19-point lead against the Super Bowl champs. The Chargers are 3-0, but their depth continues to get drained, and USC climbs both in the polls and in the eyes of NFL scouts. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So it is September 22nd, 2025. Welcome back to the home office. Do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, if you do, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, we always have an expanded look at the scoreboard during football season. Starting with Philadelphia 33, Rams 26. We deal with reality here at Faithful Angelenos. The Rams choked. Can't sugarcoat it. Love the Rams. We face reality. They led 26-7 and they choked it away. In the last 2 years, an NFL team has had a 19-point lead 195 times. And that meant victory 193 of those times until yesterday. And by the way, beating the Eagles in Philly would have sent a missive across the entire league that the Rams are legit Super Bowl contenders. But in all three phases of the game, the Rams simply didn't show up in the second half. Just one score early in the third. The defense coughed up that 19-point lead. The Rams got into field goal position in their final two possessions, and both of the attempts were blocked. If either one of those gets through, the Rams win. For that matter, if the Rams didn't get just one touchdown in their 4 red zone appearances, they win. Now, Davante Adams, he caught a TD pass, but he was supposed to be the solution for red zone offensive troubles, which, by the way, for the Rams, stretch all the way back to last year. The Rams this year, if they get in the red zone, they are 6 for 13 when it comes to scoring a touchdown. Moreover, on defense, Ahkello Witherspoon, he got injured last week. That might be an issue going forward because A.J. Brown caught 6 passes for 109 yards, I should say. Now, if you're looking for plus sides, I can give it to you. They finally contained Saquon Barkley. Dude only had 46 yards. Jared Verse, 6 tackles, 2 for a loss. Puka Nacua caught 11 passes. But so what? Everybody in that locker room, whether they admit it or not, they know they had that game in the palm of their hands. And now you're wondering if you could trust them with a lead. When was the last time you could say that in the Sean McVay era? Meanwhile, Chargers 23, Denver 20. Cameron Dicker's field goal as time expired completed a sweep through the AFC West in the first 3 games of the season for the Chargers. It's the first time since 2002 that the Bolts are 3-0. They now lead the division by 2 games. They rallied against a Broncos team that had not conceded a second half touchdown going into Sunday. Now, the Chargers do not have a perfect roster by any stretch. And that only shows us all one thing. This is an exceptionally resilient football team. Justin Herbert specifically, he threw for 300 yards despite his line just getting overwhelmed all day Sunday. The guy was sacked 5 times, pressured 29 times. So the weak link in the Chargers is pretty damn obvious. That offensive line that got ripped to shreds in the playoffs is probably right now worse. But they're 3-0 because Herbert and the rest of the roster are picking up that slack. They're going to be challenged further, by the way, in the immediate future. We'll get to why that is in just a few moments. Also, Scum Francisco 3, Dodgers 1. Blake Trinan did his best impression of the Rams in the second half. He allowed 3 runs in the 8th inning. And LAFC overwhelmed Real Salt Lake 4-1. There are no games involving LA teams today. If I weren't a church-going man, I'd suggest going to the strip club. I don't know what the Bible says about going to the dispensary, though, if you're looking for something to enjoy on your day off. But that's just me. What do you say we get to the news? Back to the Chargers. I don't know where Najee Harris's injury ranks in terms of the why would you show us that replay? It's going to make us puke, right? It's not the top 5 in terms of most gruesome replays. It's not like Joe Theismann or Napoleon McCallum. Maybe it's in the top 10, maybe. In the second quarter, what appeared to be a play action pass, at the very snap, Harris fell to the turf like he'd been shot. Herbert had to leap over the guy while he was backpedaling in order to set his feet to pass. To be honest with you, I don't even remember the result of the play, because what I remember is that dude falling and grabbing the back of his leg. So they showed the replay from the end zone where you could see Harris's Achilles tendon just ripple up the back of his calf. For all we know, that Achilles tendon is snapping all the way up to his shoulder. Super gross, super intense. Now, the Chargers, they love to obfuscate the extent of injuries. The only thing Jim Harbaugh would cop to is to say that it appeared Harris suffered an Achilles injury. We know. And I'm no doctor, I'm not. But I'm here to tell you that's got to be an Achilles rupture, and I'd be stunned if we see that guy before next season. It is the second freak accident that happened to the poor guy since he signed with the Chargers. Although the first admittedly was his own damn fault. Safety with fireworks, kiddos. Safety with fireworks. It sucks for the Chargers in the sense that the reason that they went after Harris in the first place was because he was durable. He has never missed a game in his NFL career. They let J.K. Dobbins go to Denver because Dobbins was injury prone. They thought they had the answer in Harris, and now the guy's probably got to go under the knife. So it's a Marion Hampton's time now. I could think of worse backup options. The dude did rush for 70 yards and a touchdown yesterday. Also with the Bolts, guard Mekhi Becton left the game with a concussion, which will further strain an offensive line that was suspect before the season began, guys. Now they've lost, in training camp, they lost one of the best tackles in football. Then they lose their best guard Sunday in Becton. Now, Jamari Salyer replaced Becton for the remainder of the game. I would presume that that's their plan going forward. But that offensive line, Herbert better be doing some extra wind sprints in practice this week, I'm telling you. USC has climbed to 21st in the AP football poll thanks to its 4-0 start. Now, the reason the Trojans aren't higher, it's obviously due to the easy schedule at the start of the year. I think we'd all have to admit that. The fear, though, was what was going to happen when USC finally faced 9th-ranked Illinois. Oh my God, that is going to be the crucible. Can they go into Champaign, Illinois, and pull out a dub? Only they're not 9th-ranked Illinois anymore. The Illini got the living hell kicked out of them. They actually fell behind USC. They're number 23. So this is still a matchup of 2 ranked teams. And it's still a road game to the East Coast. But it doesn't look as invincible of an opponent as it did earlier last week. NFL scouts were in attendance for the USC-Michigan State game. Many of them told an ESPN reporter they envisioned Mekhi Lemon both in the slot and on the outside, which means they envision him playing in the NFL. They also like his route running. They see him as a potential day 2 pick in the next NFL draft. Now, it will be interesting to find out how the current injury to Jacoby Lane will hurt his draft stock. The scouts did not say what they thought of him. ESPN envisions him being a top 50 pick. ESPN also is arguing that scouts say linebacker Eric Gentry is an intriguing prospect because of his instincts and his range. They see him as a mid-round prospect, but the thing teams might hold against him, he doesn't have the body of a typical linebacker. He's 6'6", 225 pounds. Now I would have thought what they would have held against him was he's injury prone. But either way, it looks like he could reach the NFL as well. So, good for him. He's popular in the locker room and among Trojan fans, precisely because he does make plays. A writer for Sports Illustrated wrote that the open wound of recruiting departures for UCLA football has finally been staunched. Yes, 6 pledges have backed away from Westwood. They are ramping up their recruiting again. As a result, the Bruins recruiting class for 2026 fell. It was a top 10 class. Now they're already down to 52nd in the nation. This is according to 247sports.com. UCLA still has 16 prospects. They also have 2 4-star defenders coming in next year, provided, of course, they actually sign. So the writer is acting as if to say, hey, y'all, it's all good. I don't think the writer gets this part, though, because he's conveniently forgetting there's a 30-day transfer portal window open where current Bruin players can abandon ship. Not to mention that high schoolers are notorious for thinking like, wait for it, teenagers. High school athletes think like teenagers, guys. They are not locked in until signing day comes in December, my dude. You might be a little premature with that. Rams linebacker Nick Hampton missed the game because he allegedly ate a Philly cheesesteak, according to his own social media post. He posted a pic of himself in a hospital bed and wrote that he in the future would rather eat dirt than that nasty food in Philadelphia. I've been to Philadelphia. Food doesn't even rank in the top 10 of nasty things in that place, my guy. I never even thought to try a cheesesteak. There was so much nastiness in that city. No wonder Rocky ran so far. I'm amazed he didn't keep running until he wound up in Baltimore. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example. How disappointed are you in the Rams? Or how cautiously optimistic are you about the Bolts, since they are not exactly chargering? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.